This is the problem with South Africa's youth. So I was doing an economics assignment about a day ago, and they're basically talking about unemployment, and I was looking at the stats, and they were jaw dropping. And they've gotten worse. People, yes, the unemployment rate has increased, and it is now currently probably the highest unemployment rate in the entire world. Okay, places like you'd expect, lower income countries like Kenya, they don't even have as close of a rate as 33.2%. Theirs is like at 11 point something percent, but that's not the point. The point is the biggest issue is the youth unemployment rate, and it's a big issue. And they were asking in the tutorial, like, oh, what factors contribute to these high unemployment rates, and like, what definitely like causes unemployment. And this really got me into a train of thought, and I really want to speak and voice my opinions and my thoughts based on the stats and facts that are out there of some of these issues that are impacting young people, specifically in South Africa. And if you're a young person, if you're in high school, about to leave high school, still a high schooler, as long as you're like a young, teen, adolescent, and even if you're someone who's out of high school already and you're a young person trying to survive in this country, like, this definitely is applicable to you. Yeah, so basically, guys, our unemployment rate is 33.2%, but the most shocking thing is that our youth unemployment rate, meaning people from the age of 15 to 24 years of age, that unemployment rate is 46.1 or 9%. I will show you the stats so that you can have a look at it yourself and judge for yourself whether you think this is problematic or not. And it is a concern, because one thing I will say is the thing that is wrong, especially in poverty-stricken communities where we see that crime is really, it is normalized. Crime is, I think, indirectly one of the factors that does impact unemployment, okay? And I will qualify my statement soon, but I just want to say, if you look at poverty-stricken communities, especially, areas that are where crime rates are really high, okay, those are the areas where a lot of people sometimes do tend to be most unemployed. And that is just because of the fact that they have an option sometimes. And I know young people, sometimes it's easier to be able to choose to become a taxi driver or a gangster, or become a merchant who sells substances for these gangsters, than it actually is to take school seriously so that you can actually graduate from high school and go to university and get a decent qualification to get a good job one day. I know it's harder to do the latter, and therefore a lot of our people in poverty-stricken communities really do fall prey, especially young people fall prey to other illegal ways of making money, and this perpetuates crime, okay? And crime is so normalized to the point where everyone just accepts it. It's just, in South Africa, it's a part of life. It's like, yes, something is gonna happen. You might just get something stolen, someone might just get kidnapped. It's okay, what are we gonna do? And I'm saying, like, it needs to stop right now. And I'm only one voice out of the many other voices that I know have talked about this before. But I think as a young person, we have a responsibility within the communities we find ourselves in to not normalize crime, to not contribute to the perpetuating cycle of crime. And we as a community, not only young people, but community, the adults, the elders, we need to speak up and take a stance. How do we do that? We need to make sure that our voices collectively are heard, because it's no point one person speaks or only a minority speaks. We need to get the majority really speaking and saying enough is enough. How can we do that? The number one way that I think that you can actually contribute to less crime rates is through elections. Who you vote for is important. And this whole idea of my vote doesn't count, it doesn't make a difference. In fact, it does. And the other person who doesn't vote also makes a count. And then the other person who also doesn't vote does actually make a count, because you not voting is actually, you're making a choice. Your vote could have added to someone else's party being the party that gets to govern our country. And because you didn't vote, the good party might have lost. I'm not trying to tell you, who to vote for. That is up to you. But all I'm saying is, get involved in the economic landscape of this country, and especially in the political landscape. A vote does count, and someone who does not vote also counts. And so that's one of the practical ways that you really can make sure that we really speak up against crime and we say we are done. We're so tired of corruption, of things not happening the way they should be happening, politicians and the government's words not matching up with their actions. Because oh my word, there's one thing that really has been on my mind and it has been irritating me for the longest time, and it is our Department of Basic Education's poor, inefficient education system. And I was thinking, I had this thought the other day, like, I don't understand who hires some teachers, because some people, listen, then I love teachers. I am a product and the result of good, spectacular teachers that have taught me, which is the reason, part of the reason I am here today at Stellenbosch University studying actuarial science. But today's teachers, the new ones, from what I've heard from my old school and from what I've seen, I don't know why some teachers are teachers. Because why are the teachers not investing into students and the high schoolers and children and kids' lives anymore as they used to in the old days and as they ought to? Today, the teachers are just there for vibes. They're just scrolling on their phones, going about their days, don't really care about how the kids are doing, don't really put in an effort to actually make their classes engaging. They're just there to get paid and to go home. There's no investment into the kid's life and actually trying to be an example or to contribute positively into that kid's life anymore. And also the way that this education system, specifically the Department of Basic Education's CAPS curriculum, how it's structured, it's not effective. And I am not an advocate for this 30% bar. That is not even a bar. It's literally on the floor. We need to be the ones, they really think that you guys are dumb. They really do think that we're dumb to set the bar and standard so low. And it is upon us to show them that actually you guys are wrong. We are not dumb. 30% is not your standard. It's not supposed to be your bar. Try and raise that bar for yourself and take responsibility to really make sure that you're putting in effort into your academics as a high schooler, as someone who is still under this education system. Because the moment that we ourselves put it upon ourselves to be like, okay, I have a responsibility for my own self and I have the choice to do better, to show that there is actually still hope for this country, because you might just be the next, I don't know, Jeff Bezos from South Africa. I don't want to say the other guy's name because I know it's quite controversial right now. I know you guys are knowing who I'm talking about, so I won't mention that man's name. But you could be the next, person who really changes this world. And I think one of my favorite quotes, which is education is the most powerful weapon which you can definitely use to change the world, by Nelson Mandela. I added definitely and it's not in the quote, but my point is education is powerful, and it really hurts my heart and makes me so furious to see that our kids are not getting the quality education that they deserve to really change their circumstances and to really better their chances of employability after they leave school. Because the problem with our school system is it doesn't efficiently prepare our kids for the fourth industrial revolution, which is basically the evolution of AI, of digital systems being integrated into, our society. Our kids are not prepared for that. Because why? Our education system does not prepare them for that adequately. It tries, but it doesn't do so adequately, in my opinion. And also the bar is way too low. So I challenge you to raise that bar for yourself. Let 50% be your bar, not 30%, because 50% gives you a better probability than anyone else with below 50% of getting into university, because that's the standard here at university, 50% or nothing, okay? And so I really do think we need to voice our opinions more and encourage our minds to be opened to actually contributing to this country, and to show this Department of Basic Education that, hey, we are not dumb. Despite this inferior quality of education that you are giving us, we will do our part and we will excel, okay? So that we can change our circumstances. Because you really are great. You have the greatness in you. You have the ability in you to break these cycles of poverty that you might come from. You really do have the ability. You need to start believing it, okay? And crime, we need to stop perpetuating it by stop accepting it and stop just seeing it as part of our daily lives. It's not. It should not be. Every person deserves to have quality education, to feel safe, and most importantly, to feel like they have a future where they don't have to worry about finding a job after getting out of school. Like, what even? So this is my little rant. If any of that really interests you, please do comment down below. I'd love to see your thoughts and opinions. And as always, you are great. You have everything in you. God has placed you in this point of time to be the change maker. Don't wait for other generations after you to do it. Why not start with you? So that's my bit. Please comment down below. If you have any thoughts or opinions, I'd love to see it in the comment section. And let's keep on encouraging good topical discussions that can help people's minds change and to shift their attention to more important things, okay? I love you guys so much. I'm proud of you. All the best, okay? Bye. Let's make South Africa great. But most importantly, let's make the world great. It's bigger than South Africa, okay? Let's make the world great, okay?